It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso, obviously with the 2019 edition of the ICC Cricket World Cup well underway. Really interesting time at the moment. We thought we'd take a look at the careers of some of the veterans, those stalwarts in that South African squad that we love the most. And I think one of the most loved cricketers in the world, undoubtedly, is Hashim Amla. One of the most recognised and best known cricketers, yes, but also respected for the kind of man that he is, not only here in South Africa. To help us heap praise on a fantastic man, another fantastic man, our resident sports journalist, Carl Lewis. Dude, thanks so much for tuning in. We know that obviously there's a huge amount on the go this year. It's just crazy. There's just so much to look forward to and sink our teeth into. But looking at, and we've loved having the opportunity to just put some of these guys on a pedestal, because I think from Hash's perspective, it didn't even look like that he was going to make it to the squad for a time. Can you put that whole saga into perspective for us? Was it a mistake taking Hash with us? Obviously his performances now notwithstanding, but going into this World Cup, was he the right man for it? What do you think the big question mark was around his name?
Well, to answer your question, I think yes, it was right to take him, but I understand the doubt. I mean, he obviously is going through a lot with his father's health, and his personal form himself. You know, when he played recent domestic cricket for the Cobras, he didn't look too good. He looked out of touch. But at the end of the day, this is Hashim Amla. He's played over 100 ODIs. He scored multiple centuries. He averages 49. At World Cups, he averages 47.
He's always had this strange label of being a slow-scoring batsman, which couldn't be further from the truth.
That's actually something I want to bring up, is that he was boxed in early as a test player.
Yeah.
And he got an opportunity in the one-day team just by luck. There was an injury. They got him in, he scored 100, and the rest is history. You know, he's always been averaging in and around 50, which is unbelievable. Phenomenal. In the modern day game, you know. So yeah, it's just you must be wary of boxing in players. I think he's the perfect example of that. We thought he's just a test player, but he turned out to be one of our best ODI players, and even T20 he scored some runs for us.
And there is a depth of character there. You get a sense that he plays that role within the team as well, and we need that balance of experience and not.
Exactly.
Is there a moment that stands out for you that got your attention where you were like, wow, okay, this is the real deal with Hash?
I don't think there's a specific moment. I just think it's the consistency.
Yeah.
You know, he scored so many hundreds in one-day cricket, and also important 50s. For me, it's just Hash's consistency. He's been he's the perfect foil for someone like Quinton de Kock through the years. You know, Quinton blasts up front, and he
steals all the glory.
You know, and Hash is just working the ball, hitting the bad balls away for 4, but still scoring at 100 runs. Per 100 balls, you know, with a 100 strike rate. So, yeah, he's very unassuming, Hash, and that's what I love about him. Yeah, people might not fear him, but next thing you know, after the power play, he's on 45 of 37 balls, you know.
What is it about his style of play? Because technically he gets heaped with a lot of praise. There is something beautiful about the way that he plays. How would you typify his style as a batsman?
I think definitely unique. You know, when he burst onto the scene, he had this crazy back arc, and he still has that to a certain degree, although he's tightened that up. But I think he's definitely played the game in his own style. He didn't try and change his style. He realized he needs to back himself. But his wrists, he plays so beautifully through the leg side. And South Africans aren't typically good off the wrist, you know. That's usually for the Pakistanis and
few
Indians.
That are better off the hip, man.
But he's just unbelievable off his legs.
So many retirees after this World Cup. It's always sad because it makes me feel like I'm just getting really, really old, especially with like JP Durban. He still feels like he's in his prime and not lost from all international cricket. Where do you think Hash is at the moment? Should we be worried about, obviously he went through a very deeply dark personal time last year, which I think everyone kind of identified with him being at the tail end of his career, but that might not necessarily be the case for where he is mentally. What sort of legacy do you think Hash is going to leave? Is he going to be with us for a while, do you think, still?
I can't answer that, but the legacy...
What does your heart of hearts say, man?
My heart of heart would be happy if we won the World Cup and he retired on a high note. But in terms of legacy, I think Hash will always be... Hash's career, you know, he started with the Proteas, got dropped, but when he came back, he took his chance, and His time in the team is synonymous with South Africa kind of reaching new heights.
Yeah.
Winning in Australia, winning in India, where he scored 250 in India, 311 in England, you know. All these big moments were, you know, he had a big part to do with South Africa's biggest moments.
Phases for us.
Yeah.
I think most importantly, and for any young cricketer out there, the lessons learned for a guy who's been able to pick himself back up and deliver on the world stage, that's one thing. But he is humble, unique, and there is something beautiful about the way that he treats other people and the respect that he's earned. Let that guide you. Be the ultimate sportsman as much as you can be talented. You're a gent, man. You fit in the same classification, the same box. Undoubtedly. Well, you can continue to share some love on our social media platforms, and we'll share it with that Protea team flying the South African flag so proudly in the UK.